In this video lesson, we will discuss how to solve linear equations. So first, what exactly are linear equations? Well, we can take a look at a few examples. One example of a linear equation is 3x plus 1 equals 7. Another example could be 2x plus 5 equals 5. Or we could have 3x minus 3 equals 4x plus 7. Or another linear equation could be 2x minus 18 equals negative x plus 2. It's an equation where you have some variable x and then other numbers multiplied to it and added to it, and you have an equal sign somewhere. So to figure out how to solve these, let's just do an example. 2x minus 1 equals 5. So here, the variable is x, so I underlined it with a straight underline. Then there are numbers that we're adding or subtracting, but that aren't with the x. These are the constants. We want to isolate x, and we'll do this first by adding 1 to both sides of the equation. We are allowed to do this because we have done the same thing on both sides of the equation, so the equality remains true. And what does this give us? It gets rid of the minus 1 that was right next to the 2x. So now we just have 2x equals 5 plus 1 is 6. Now all we want is to divide by 2 so that we are left with just x equals 2 something. And again, we've divided by 2 on both sides of the equation, so it's perfectly okay to do so. So when we divide 2x by 2, of course the 2's cancel out. So then we get x equals 6 over 2 is 3. And that's the answer, x equals 3. We isolate the variable, and then the answer just comes out on its own. Now we can check this answer just to make sure that it's right. We were first given the equation 2x minus 1 equals 5. What if we plug in x equals 3? So I've erased x, and we're putting 3 in instead. So this is the same as 6 minus 1 equals 5, which is the same as 5 equals 5. Well, of course that's true. So we know that x equals 3 must be the right solution. So let's go on to a second example now. 3x minus 2 equals 2x plus 5. So again, we have variables and we have non-variables. They're the x's, and then negative 2 and plus 5 are the constants. So we want to isolate x on one side and move all the other numbers to the other side. So we're going to add 2 to both sides. We are doing the same thing to both sides of the equation so the equality remains true. And adding 2 gets rid of the minus 2 on one side because it's the opposite. Minus 2 plus 2 is just 0. So we get 3x equals 2x plus 5 plus 2 is 7. So now we still have x's on 2 different sides of the equation, so you want to move them to one side. How can we do this? We can subtract 2x on both sides of the equation. We're doing it on both sides, so it's allowed. But on one side, 2x minus 2x just cancels out. So there are no more x's on the right-hand side of the equation. On the other side, we have 3x minus 2x, which is just 1x, which is just x. So this just simplifies to x equals 7. And hey, that's the answer. Now, as before, we can check this answer by just plugging it in. So our original equation was 3x minus 2 equals 2x plus 5. If we replace all the x's with a 7, let's see what's going to happen. we get 3 times 7 minus 2, which simplifies to 21 minus 2, and 2 times 7 plus 5, which is 14 plus 5. 21 minus 2 is 19. 14 plus 5 is also 19. So we get a true equality. So we really know that x equals 7 is a solution. So now we're ready for the final example. Hopefully you're getting the hang of this. 3 plus x equals 7 minus x. So we have the variables x on both sides of the equation, and the numbers 3 and 7 as well. So I've underlined them with their different underlines. And first, we're going to get rid of the 3 on the left-hand side by subtracting 3 on both sides. So the plus and the minus 3 cancel out, and on the other side, we're going to have 7 minus 3 is equal to 4. So now we have x equals 4 minus x. Now we want x to be on both sides, on one side of the equation. So we add x to both sides to cancel out the negative x on the right-hand side. So we add this x on both sides. The minus x and plus x cancel out, and we get x plus x is 2x. So 2x equals 4. So let's take a look at what we've done here so far. We have subtracted 3 on both sides, so it's allowed, and we've added x on both sides. It's all this solving linear equations is about. It's just doing the same thing to both sides until you get an x equals to a number. So now we're going to divide by 2 on both sides, because we don't want 2x, we just want x. And this gives us x equals 2. And we can check this answer as before just by plugging it in. So let's try that. So we started with 3 plus x equals 7 minus x. Well, if we replace x with 2, we will just get 3 plus 2 equals 7 minus 2. And let's check if this is right. 3 plus 2 is 5. And 7 minus 2 is also 5. So it's correct. So x actually does equal 2. Thank you for watching this video lecture. I hope it helped.